Dude, this series in Metal Gear, in terms of story and
girth, just like
interlocking, girth is the best word for it. Yeah, they're very, very similar.
Girth.
Thanks, Felix. Girth. Welcome, everybody, to episode 198 of the Emergent Gamer podcast. I am Trip Zero, and I'm joined by a roundtable of amazing, amazing people for some more game conversations. Before we start, I want to make sure we're calling out, brought to you by the OG Podcast Network, of course. Thank you guys to them. Like I said, I'm Trip Zero. I'm here also with Mr.
Felix Hergood.
And we have
Niwayoshi.
Thank you, guys. And we have a special guest tonight. There's no Lock and Key. In Lock and Key's place, being a very special, tonight, specifically Kingdom Hearts correspondent, we have Sleeping Flower. Sleeping Flower, hello.
Hi, guys.
Good to have you back on the show.
Glad to be back, honestly.
Yeah, it's been a while. How long, guys? I can't, it's
What,
definitely months.
Do you remember the number of the
year?
last show you were on, Flower?
Not even a little bit. I just got back from Japan the last time, so...
Oh,
That
so
is
you
true.
were...
Probably
That's
like
right. We talked about
October?
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while then.
Yeah.
I remember that.
How you guys get all your Weeb news if I wasn't here? God.
Yeah,
That's true.
I need the Weeb update, and that is exactly
Yeah.
why you're here today.
Well,
Yeah, I
what's
have a little bit more frequent of a schedule for sure.
What did you call it? The Weeb what?
The Weeb
Weeb.
update.
What's Weeb? Weeb what?
Oh, so there's a term
Am
called
I stupid?
weeabo.
Wow.
Oh,
wow.
do you know what a weeabo is?
No.
Well, it's a
Hold on. Let Flower
not
tell it.
really offensive,
yeah.
but kind of somewhat
I mean,
offensive.
It's somewhat offensive. It's basically a person who's obsessed with, like, Japanese pop culture. Would be the nicest way of putting it.
Who's not Japanese
but by, like,
usually.
obsessed, I mean, like, super obsessed.
Is it a term that Japanese use to refer
No,
derogatory to
this
other
is
people?
definitely an American derogatory. Used against other Americans.
Oh, it's Americans who aren't into Japanese culture being derogatory to Americans who are into Japanese culture.
Bingo.
right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
That's
bad.
the one. That's the one.
Or
I've
Well-
owned Weeb. It's okay. I've taken the
Well.
name back.
it's endearing now. So before it was it's hurtful, and now it's endearing.
Yeah.
What's that called again? It's called I can't remember.
Reclaiming the name.
Is it reclamation? Maybe I'm just thinking of the word reclamation. Never mind.
Yeah, I think that's what you're doing. It's all right.
Anyway,
Good word.
naming and semantics aside, we have a pretty good show for you guys tonight. There's been a couple exciting things happening this week, and we're gonna frame them all around our adventures and our conversations with our video games. I think we're gonna start with Felix Hergood.
Oh, thank you.
We're gonna have you dive in a little bit more to your Resident Evil experience, because it's a game that I think all of us have played. Have you played Resident Evil at all, Flower? Have you dove into their remake?
I have not dove into the remake. I've been
Ooh,
waiting
so we can
until
convince
this. I've been waiting until I finished Kingdom Hearts to really jump into it. But I've had a lot of good friends tell me good things about it. So
So it's not too dark on your darkness scale?
the palette itself is not that dark.
Oh,
It's not gray brown
I mean,
like everything else.
Oh, okay.
good.
I mean, it is a
Good.
dark ass game.
Can we
It's a
recap
dark
this?
game.
This is darkness scale for listeners who may not understand what this is in reference to
Yes, I'm
specifically.
not familiar.
Okay, so I have an issue with games that kind of have a very dark color palette. So like games like Elder Scrolls or like what is it?
Fallout.
Bloodborne, Fallout. They all
Bloodborne.
look
Gears of War.
exactly. Yes, they're all washed in the exact same color,
Like
which is
muted-
gray brown. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it all looks like throw up and paste to me, so I just don't
Right.
like it. But no, Resident Evil doesn't
Interesting.
quite have that. It still has a sharpness to it that I enjoy. So it doesn't quite fall in that palette.
Flower, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you think in some instances with some games you have difficulty conceptualizing? Like, here's an example. of course, when I look at Fallout or some other game that has that color palette, I see it as gray brown, right? If I just look at it, but there is a way to conceptualize red. You know what I mean? When
Right.
this is supposed to be like a red apple, right?
Mhm.
Even though it looks like a murky brown, like I know that because it's an apple, that it's supposed to be like a reddish color, right? Do you think there might be something in there with like you like your either your interest in conceptualizing, like, or are you a more literal color seer? You know what I mean? Like actual red needs to be there as an
No,
example.
I don't like it as an atmosphere. So like I can still conceptualize that, yes, I know this apple is red, but it's an atmosphere of throw up and paste that I just don't like. I
Got it.
don't want to be in that world.
I
So
mean,
it's
you
just
for Fallout, you could say that like by the color palette, and then also by literally like the world, the setting,
yeah, it's actually throw up and paste.
toxic waste and
Mhm.
probably vomit,
Nuclear puke.
nuclear puke. Yeah, it's all.
Nuke puke.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, back on topic.
Yes. In a world that's not
Muted.
puke, throw up muted colors.
So okay. So I have gone further in the game. I have taken myself to beyond the Claire A storyline. Now,
Congratulations.
I gave this history last time. It'll be real quick. The only thing I played 20 years ago was the Claire A storyline because a friend had it on disc, and I haven't played it since then. I never played the Leon storyline. I just played Claire A. This time, I started with Claire A, played it. Now I've gone on to Leon. My first mistake, can I emphasize the fucking word mistake? My first mistake
I think I know where you're gonna go with this.
What's-
folks.
I don't know.
was my first mistake was choosing fucking hardcore.
Yeah,
this
dude.
time.
What the fuck are you thinking?
Oh, why did you do that?
Not as hard as Give Me God of War mode. Not as hard as that. Not nightmarishly
Sure.
the most difficult thing I've ever played. But wow, it would be a very, very, very hard challenge to try and accomplish that. Anyway,
Felix, no,
I
hold on.
didn't-
Hold on. Hold on.
Neo confused me.
Hold
What,
on.
what was I confusing about?
Don't. No. Don't. Let's not.
Don't put this on me. You can't put this on me.
Neo said, I think he said it last week. He said, when you finish Claire A, you'll play the Leon story, and it's more like hardcore. He said something like that. Didn't you say that, Neo?
Is it more? Did I say this? Roll the tape.
Uh-huh.
Oh, we don't have it. All right.
Somebody said to me,
Look,
when
Someone
you
get the
play through-
receipts.
when you play after
hey,
you play Claire, when you
Felix.
play, go ahead.
It's all a moot point because what I'm gonna
Wait,
ask
but did
you,
I say this?
it doesn't matter. What
Okay.
what I'm gonna ask you, Felix, is
Somebody.
why do you do this to yourself?
Listen, I didn't do it to my. Okay.
Yes, you do.
I got
You play all these
confused.
games.
I got
play all these
confused.
games on the hardest mode possible.
No.
And I feel like you're gonna give yourself a heart
I'm
attack.
not somebody that wants to do that. Look, I got
Evidence.
confused 'cause somebody.
There's evidence.
I remember it being Neo. It could have been anybody.
Okay.
Somebody said to me, when you get to the end of the Claire A storyline, it's going to be hardcore when you play Leon. Like the game would switch to that. Now, what I got instead of that was a choice: pick hardcore or standard again. And I got confused and said, and I thought in my head, well, it didn't automatically go into that. So what should I do? And I said, I think in order to do this, it's according to whoever told me about the second part, that I should pick what I was told about. So I picked hardcore, thinking that is the course that most people who play the game go through. Like they play Claire A, then they kind of know the map, and then hardcore is milder because you kind of know, not milder than standard, but like it's an easier way to get through it because you already went through it.
Well, Felix,
Yeah.
I'm not buying this thought process.
I think
It didn't work.
the B playthrough is naturally on the normal level just a little bit harder when it starts.
I don't. Now that I've played
So,
the hardcore version of B,
that
and
might
the
have been what
standard-
I said, because when you start the B playthrough, like as when I did with Claire's B playthrough, I had less items. I had a different gun that was harder to use, and there were more zombies that I had to avoid right from the get go. Like it was instantly like harder for me.
I don't believe that's true with the Leon standard, the Leon B standard playthrough. I don't believe that.
Okay.
At all. There's plenty of health, I mean, I'm spending it and using it too frequently like an idiot again. But like the game is much easier than the Leon B on hardcore. Hardcore, you fucking have to use the ribbons. The fucking ribbons.
Oh yeah,
There's
yeah.
only save.
There's a limited amount of fucking ribbons.
I honestly I would love that because that'll just
I thought
complete
on hardcore,
the whole experience.
I thought on hardcore, because when you go into it, it says on hardcore, it says, by the way, the autosave is going to be turned off. And I'm like, okay, cool. No worries.
You're ready for that now. You know now after last time.
But I went in and I was like, oh, just the autosave is going to be turned off. Okay, fine. I can handle that. And then I thought when I would get to a typewriter, I'd just be able to save. No, I get there and there's no fucking ribbons. I had no ribbons. And I was like, oh, so there's just a dumb, dead typewriter I can't fucking use here. Thanks. But anyway, so I got into the game and I started playing hardcore and it sucked. And I did all right. And I got kind of this part. And then I was just, fuck this. And then I got angry at one point, but then I played through it. Then I finished the stream and slept on it and woke up the next day and said, fuck this, I'm going back to standard. So I did.
Does it feel better now?
Good.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Now I'm playing through the story and everything's great. Here's my problem. None of that.
That wasn't the problem. This is the problem.
Yeah. Now we got to the problem.
Here's my problem. So what I thought this was going to be, it's taken me 20 fucking years to know this about this game. But what I thought this was going to be was two halves of a fucking muffin put together. You know, like this fucking storyline, and then these are the other sides of the storyline. And it's not. I don't even know what the fuck it is. But I'm telling you, it was shit to begin with. And I get it. They had to stay close to the source material. But sometimes the game's story implies that Leon and Claire are opposites of each other. They're in two parts of the world, and like one's doing something somewhere else and the other one's doing something somewhere else. Sometimes it implies that, and then the rest of the time it's just you as Leon repeating all the shit Claire did, and that makes no fucking logical sense.
All right, so yeah,
none. For those stories, what you're saying, Felix, is accurate.
Yes.
Yeah, like they are.
Don't you think
for
that's
each
broken?
one. No.
Well, okay, wait.
I mean, it gets a pass because of when it was made.
For each one individually, you are supposed to understand they're off doing their own thing and they're intersecting with you.
But that's not true.
All right, so Felix, in the original game, there were similar factors to what you're talking about, where it does feel like they're kind of on separate parts of the world. But
with the clips, the cutscenes, it definitely feels like the intention of the director was they're in two separate places, Leon's somewhere else. But then
there are so things that were omitted from this version of the game, like for example, in the original game, there are moments where you catch Claire on a walkie-talkie, and there are moments where you'll run into her in the police station in the hallway, and that in the original game bridged the two stories in certain ways. But
in the original story, did both of the characters go and find all the medallions?
Kinda. I don't even know if the medallions were a thing.
Yeah,
in the old
they both
game.
have. They both have to do that. Yeah,
they both do have to do that. Yeah, it's just.
I'm thinking in my head like they got lazy.
No,
like they were
but here's the example. You played the Leon storyline first, right?
No, I played Claire first.
You played Claire first. Okay, so there were probably 2 or 3 rooms in the police station that you probably never got to see.
You can't access, because there's no heart key with Leon.
And I know that. We're talking about the club key is only a Leon thing, and the heart key is only a Claire thing.
So the way the B storyline does work is it's pulling you in different directions and giving you different puzzles to solve at different points in time, putting you through the story differently than Leon got put through the story.
So what we're saying, if we were thinking of this conceptually, is they're not happening simultaneously. This is just two examples of how the same thing occurred. This is just 2 different separate examples of how the same thing occurred.
Yes.
I don't.
So in reality, we never
That's
get to see what the other person was doing. because we don't.
I think it's honestly implied.
That's a more yes answer though, Felix. Like
What I'm
imagine that those 4 stories are independent of each other, and whatever order you're playing, that's the order, and the other person is doing other things.
Yeah, and we don't ever get to see the other.
Yeah, the fact that there are 4 stories, Claire A, Leon A, Claire B, Leon B, is only a choice because we can so freely in the modern age choose who we want to play with, but still want to go back and do what the original game did that was on a separate disc. But that was like
the
A
question
or B,
is,
essentially.
Can I ask you a question? If I play Leon A, is that the other half of the Claire A story, or is that not true either?
No, that's no.
Yeah.
The puzzles are the same, and it's all the same bullshit. Got it.
No.
Now, from a production standpoint, I understand why they did it this way, because it would be a lot of extra fucking work to do a whole other world. I get it. It might not even, at the time, it might not even fit on the fucking disc, because they had 2 discs, right?
Yeah, back in the day.
Originally, yeah. I get it.
I would say yeah, but the idea of taking the same environment and remixing it, kinda, to create kind of a different story, and for example,
better than nothing. Right.
And honestly, like Leon has him and Ada have their whole arc, and then you have Sherry and the whole thing that goes on with Sherry. And
this reminds me heavily, and you guys probably remember when I brought this up. This reminds me of my complaints with Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I wanted them to make a whole new fucking story for the other, the male character.
Oh, both characters just follow the same path.
Yeah, if you pick the man,
dude. As long as I hear that game is, I don't know about that. That's damn.
They just flip it. Like if you pick the man, the girl is the enemy. If you pick the girl, the man is the enemy.
So wait, Trip, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe in the original game, the Claire A, Leon B storyline, that was like the canon for some reason. That was like the true canonical
I don't know
game in the Resident Evil timeline.
I don't know, but there is an answer to your question, Felix, but the more practical answer is you're experiencing these things because it's a video game, and they want to have you play the game but also have reasons to have different characters, and then we can shake things up a lot more easily. And this game is a game that has a lot of its fun coming out of almost speed running it casually. Like, you're not like trying for a world record, but it's definitely more fun to optimize your playthrough in the levels. So to keep it fresh, but also challenge someone who has been there before, that's why they have these B scenarios where things are remixed and you can kind of increase the challenge. It's not for you to understand 4 different perspectives of the story. That's never been the intention.
Right.
So, I know what you're saying, and I know it'd be cool to have, but like, you can't get frustrated about it because it was never an intention.
I'm not going to stop playing the game.
No, I'm not saying that.
I'm not upset.
It's not the vision. Never was the vision.
Right. Okay.
Just like to see it for what it is, I think is a better experience than to try and like continuously wrap your head around why you're not seeing something.
Well, no, I talked to Oates today about it, and Oates was just saying like, well, it's a faithful adaptation of how it originally was made. Of course I had to be a dick, and I was like, well, it's been shitty for 20 years.
Right.
I was just fucking with them, but like, no, I'm gonna keep playing it. Like I said, the graphics, like, it's definitely worth the $60. Yeah, because I'm gonna do the other 2 storyline, the other 2 playthroughs as well.
Yeah, at some point this weekend, I think I'm gonna start the Claire A storyline and start. Does the
Claire? Here's a good question. Does the Claire A storyline, or sorry, Claire B storyline, have different cutscenes and stuff?
Yes, very much so.
Cool.
Very much so.
Wait.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it all for you, but
no, don't spoil
it. It's a very cool.
Yeah, if they interact with different people and they go in different places, that's neat.
Felix, you also get a more specialer ending. So there's that to look forward to.
More specialer, dude.
A more specialer one.
More specialer. That's how English works. Thanks, guys.
All right, I'm done. End scene.
Woo!
That's good. I'm glad you're still having fun with it, Felix. Yeah. And another big game that came out pretty much around the same time as Resident Evil. Like, we were pretty much in 2 camps as gamers, like what game we were going to be playing over that weekend. That was one, Resident Evil 2 remake. The other one was Kingdom Hearts 3.
And I came down to it. I was like, should I buy that or Resident Evil? And I knew Resident Evil. I have never played a Kingdom so that's why I
Yeah.
chose Resident Evil.
Yeah, you made a great choice. I think you would hate Kingdom Hearts, honestly. Or you have a lot of work to do before you jump into 3.
Maybe.
A lot of work.
Very
But Kingdom
true.
Hearts is an amazing, amazing series. I played it when it first came out. Oh God, what year was that? Was that 2002?
2? No. When did the
3?
PS2 come out?
I don't know, dude. 2000. That was 2000 or 2001. The PS2 came out because I was playing Final Fantasy X on that. And 9 actually.
2002.
But man, what a game. Because I loved Final Fantasy for
game.
years. And there was a Final Fantasy Disney crossover that had like almost all the original voice actors for all these Disney properties. It was just the weirdest mashup that ever existed. And it was an action RPG that was challenging with puzzles. There was like a Coliseum section with bosses to fight, including Sephiroth or Final Fantasy VII. I poured so much of my life and time into Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. And this game has been, I think, in the works for 13 years, 14 years. Like it's been almost as long as...
We've been anticipating it for 13, and
13
it's been in the
years.
works for like 6 or so.
Because they did hint
really?
at the end of this, at the end of 2. Like they always kind of hint the next game. And we
Right.
just were waiting as all of us grew up through multiple stages of our lives. And now we have to come back and play this very silly, goofy, but amazingly fun Disney game. And
Exactly.
I, for one, am very excited to finally dive into it. I haven't yet, but I'm going to. And I know you have, Flower, so please tell us about your experience and how it's been with Kingdom Hearts 3.
As a huge fan of the series, who's been, I actively have on Kingdom Hearts socks right now. Like I've been following.
You represent well.
I do. I've been playing forever. I've played all of its side games several times. I own pretty much every remake of Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 possible. I don't love this game, and it breaks my heart to say it. Like I don't love it.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's literally what I was not expecting.
What's wrong with it?
So, like, Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, looking back at it as an adult, and I replay them often enough to have adult opinions about them, they were very clunky games. And this game does not improve on the clunkiness of the previous games. So it's still an extremely clunky game. Like, storyline-wise, like, unless you've been actively, like, following the story, like, it doesn't... It's really well written. Like a lot of the characters you grew up with, like they've grown up a bit. But it doesn't. It basically took everything that they think like people are into right now and mashed them all into one game instead of giving me like a Kingdom Hearts game. So like there's like you can take selfies and like there's like an AR component to it. There's like you get in giant mech battles and you there's like naval battles and like all of these things that I'm like I really just wanted to go and swing my Keyblade around and like fight some Heartless and live in these like Disney worlds for a while and then like continue on with my life. But instead they just put in all these like really dumb game mechanics that didn't need to be there.
So is it like you're constantly like learning like, oh, I have to stop in chapter 4 because now they're teaching me how to play this robot thing?
Yeah, like I was 3 worlds in and they're like, oh, by the way, here's how you like pilot the ship and like now you have this underwater level which we've already decided didn't work in Kingdom Hearts 1, but they're like, yeah, let's bring that back.
Oh, I remember the Little Mermaid.
Yeah, we don't want to do that again, but they did it anyway.
Oh no.
Like you end up like running around worlds and taking pictures of like little fucking Mickey Mouse heads and you're like, oh yay, this is like really fun, but like really it really isn't. They have these things that you can gather called it's like called Classic Kingdom, and they're basically like cute little 8-bit games that you can play, but they're not fun. There's nothing great about getting any of these things except for it's cute, I guess.
Wow.
Well, all right, let me ask you this then. What do you like about it? Are there like shining lights in the darkness? Did I do that correctly?
Definitely.
Did I do the Kingdom Hearts thing correctly?
It's pretty
No,
good.
not at all. It's okay
Oh,
though.
shit.
I'll let it pass. No, a lot of my criticisms come from being a fan of the series over a long period of time. If you're just jumping into it, it's a very enjoyable play in game. Like battle feels a lot of fun. There's a lot of really cool like battle systems that come out of this game. So like they've added a thing where you basically use Disneyland attractions to fight your enemies. So like there's like the teacups and there's a big carousel and like the pirate ship and like there's like a blaster and you can use them to do different kinds of really cool stuff. Each of your Keyblades can transform into different things. So like my current Keyblade is from like Monsters Inc. and it turns into like a giant door and then yo-yos for no real reason, but it's really fun. And like I get to whack things with yo-yos.
Flower, can I ask a question?
What's that?
Not coming from no knowledge of these games at all. Is this a turn-based game?
No.
No, it's a platformer more?
It's more like a I want to say it's more of a dungeon crawler. Like it's basically what you're doing.
Okay.
Except your dungeons are Disney worlds instead of,
No, that's a good way to describe it.
Flower. I have this suspicion that, and I want to ask you this if and just let me know how close I am. Did you play Final Fantasy 15?
Yes.
So the combat, every time I've seen like combat in like video and stuff, it always looks very similar to like the combat style of 15, like with the blades changing, like when you're switching keyblades on the fly, and the way you like dodge out of the way, and the way I think you just either hold one button or like mash one button to do your like main attack. Is it like similar to like Final Fantasy 15 in that way?
It's very similar to Final Fantasy 15 in that way. And my other complaint is that this game is ridiculously easy. Like I'm playing it on its hardest difficulty, and I think I died maybe once. And I think that was
Are there different difficulties?
Yeah. So you can play at beginner, you can play at standard, and you can play at proud. That's what I'm playing it on. It's really easy.
Oh man!
I beat the like mid-game boss in exactly like 6 minutes. I literally did it before the call. Like,
wow.
So like it's not difficult at all.
Does it still like retain like its like RPG-ness, or any kind of RPG-ness?
You level up and get different like powers. I haven't done anything that is absolutely like really RPG like. No.
There's no like level system or anything like that, like anything like.
I mean, you level. It's like it's an automatic level, and then you get different like abilities based upon your level, but like you don't like and like your like magic RPG levels up, but it's not a deep RPG. Like you're not like, oh, I'm gonna add this to my strength or anything like none of that really happens. You kind of just like unlock like I can jump more times now, like or like oh I can I now can like not fall down as often, like things like that.
So how are like so? All right, the gameplay is not the strong suit, but like how are the
no the gameplay is kind of the strong suit. Like like I have a lot of fun. Well, I say gameplay, I really just mean the battle system. Like fighting things feels ridiculously good. Like you feel ridiculously like actually really overpowered in this game, and I enjoy that. Like that's probably my favorite part of the game itself.
So you're just referring to like the specific worlds and what those worlds like kind of make you do?
Yeah.
So when you inhabit these worlds, like the combat system just changes. You're not doing your normal Keyblade action. I've never played Kingdom Hearts, so like I have like no experience in this. I'm just trying to understand. Yeah.
So certain levels, so for example, the Pirates of the Caribbean level is completely underwater. So like, yes, you have your Keyblade, but your Keyblade can only do but so much underwater. And so it isn't the same. And also that's where you basically do naval races and naval battles and things like that. Like you don't get to go, it's not a go here, fight this thing level. It's a, hey, get on the ship and go places level. And then like the Big Hero 6 level is pretty much all about like kind of shmuppy. So like it's kind of bullet helly, and you get to fly around on Baymax and do cool shit like that.
Do each of the worlds like retain like their theme and like it kind of reflects that in the gameplay and like what you're doing?
Yes, very much so. My other real big like props to this game is their graphic designer, whoever did the graphic designs for each of the worlds, phenomenal job. Because all of the graphic design, like your little command list and like your start screen, like even your person changes based upon the world you're in. And all of them look really cool. So
Yeah, I remember as this game was
nice.
being developed, like seeing just the pictures of things like the Toy Story world versus what you look like
Yeah,
in
I'm looking at
like
that
the
right
Pirates
now.
of the Caribbean world. It's not only do the characters look different, but the worlds are designed more realistic or more like toys, or like we just said, the menus are all changing and visually different. I think it just
And
that's a
like
very
all of the
plus.
menus like move, and like it's the amount of detail put into each of these worlds is actually like really phenomenal. Like all your like little enemies change based upon there. So like in Tangle World, for example, it's all like open forest. So all of your little enemies are like either like cute little bandits or like flowers or like gardening ladies that you're fighting. Like you know what I mean? They look like little like gardeners or like things like that, and that's really cool. Or like in Toy Story, you're fighting toys, so you're fighting like action figures, and like they have giant mechs, so you can like beat them up and like jump into a mech and like shoot things, and that's really cute. You get like pushed into a video game at some point. Like all of the details in each of these worlds is very, very well done.
They look
Yeah, it's
almost like
really cool.
1-to-1 from the movies they're from.
Yes.
Probably
So like
except for like Pirates, but like all the
I actually popped into a stream just to like on day one just to see, and like Pirates looked really fucking good, dude.
did it really.
it's
Yeah,
beautiful. It's a
it was
beautiful
weird
game.
seeing like a real Donald Duck and like and Goofy
Oh,
next
I
to
haven't.
Sora.
I have not seen. I've just seen like the one shot from the trailer of Jack Sparrow like riding his ship,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, well, they went for a realistic look. It doesn't quite look like him, but like I get it. Like they're doing
I
like
mean,
a
yeah,
more
it's
real
not
thing.
gonna look like
Toy
you know,
Story
like
World
Leon.
though, like Toy Story World, I saw a clip someone put on Twitter that was like a side by side of like the original Frozen song and like the one in the game, and like they did like a 1-to-1 like rendition of like the whole song, and it looked like spot on. It looked like they just took Pixar's assets and just like
Yeah.
put them in this
I
game.
feel like
They,
once
they
you can get into
definitely-
animation world, yeah, you can really kind of get it super close with its current technology.
Mhm.
they at some points it actually looks like they just like pulled clips from the movies themselves.
That's pretty
And that's
cool.
how
Like,
well, and it's
yeah.
such a beautiful game. Like I can give it that. It is a wonderfully animated game. It's really good in that aspect. All of my complaints really are things that have to do with like the inner storyline of Kingdom Hearts, like how they're resolving a lot of the unanswered questions from Kingdom Hearts 2, or like from like Dream Drop Distance and all of these things. So
I was
like,
gonna ask Flower. I mean, the answer to this is probably an obvious yes, but being a huge fan, you've played all the little sub games and side stories and all of those things.
yes.
Even the
Uh,
cell phone games, like the ones that have existed.
I still have it
Horizon
on my
Cast and
phone.
shit.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Still have
the
it on my
answer is
phone.
yes. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like ridiculous Kingdom Hearts fan.
So
Like
you are not. There's not 1 ounce of kidding when you said you're a gigantic fan. Not that we didn't believe you, but like there are people that are giant fans that have not played the Verizon VCast game. That's pretty goddamn
plays the
impressive.
Verizon VCast game, yes.
So-
I have a problem. And when I obsess about something, I obsess about it thoroughly.
Go all in.
So
yeah.
all in. So yeah, no.
So how is
I
the
very
story
enjoy.
holding up for you? Like as a Kingdom Hearts fan of this long?
Yeah, did they wrap things up? Are you satisfied? That's a good question.
So like I'm not complete. I haven't completed the game. I've heard a lot of people who are very like disappointed in where it ended up. I have no real want of where I wanted it to end up. I just wanted to end somewhere.
Mhm.
But as of right now, it's not doing a very good job of like making me care about what's going on. Like, and I think it has to do with like how it started, because it just started with like, hey, go here, fight this thing, and then like nothing happened. And you're just like, oh, all right. And then it's like, oh wait, no, actually go here and fight this thing. And I was like, okay. And it was like, oh yeah, nope, that was it, bye. And I was like, I don't understand what's going on. And it takes a really long time to actually get into like, this is how this all actually connects into what the story is trying to tell you. So yeah, like I just got to like, if you've played Kingdom Hearts games, you know they have like a mid boss. Like it's like, oh, you're at the middle of the game. This is the big boss for the middle of the game that like ties into the story, not necessarily all of the worlds. And I just got past that part, and I was just like you're telling me the story, and I'm like really into the story that you've been telling me for all of these years, and I feel like you're not doing it enough justice because you keep like they have a lot of threads that they need to tie up, and they just keep adding more threads instead of tying any of them up anywhere.
I see they're playing the Kojima game. Very nice, very nice.
Dude, this series in Metal Gear in terms of story and
girth, just like
interlocking. Girth is the best word for it. Yeah, they're very, very similar.
Girth.
Thanks, Felix. Girth.
So, do you know?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Neil.
Oh, I was just gonna say, do you know how many worlds like total there are, and do a lot of the other worlds from other games return? Like, so what's new and like what's old?
So again, I just did the mid game. I have unlocked another world. I haven't quite figured out what it is yet because I haven't gotten there.
Yeah.
But we do return to Olympus. So like the Hercules world we go back to, though
Cool.
It doesn't seem to have the like Hercules world before was kind of like a gauntlet kind of thing where like you would go through rounds and like fight enemies and things like that. It's more of a realized world this time, so that's really interesting.
That's nice.
Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean returned. So like we got back to that.
That was in 1 and 2.
It was in 1 and 2. You played
wow.
Pirates of the Caribbean. So this one it follows Dead Man's Chest, and like the first one was like the Curse of the Black Pearl, and whatever the middle Pirates of the Caribbean movie was called, I don't remember. But so like that came back. But then we have Frozen, which is new, Tangled, Big Hero 6, Toy Story. There's another like world in between kind of thing, which isn't a Disney world, but it's a Kingdom Hearts like storyline world, which is kind of cool. Winnie the Pooh world comes back and is just as annoying as it always has been. It is. It's like,
Winnie the Pooh
don't
world.
force me to play more mini games than I really already like am playing.
It seems,
wasn't
it
that
seems
world
like this is
originally
like
just like
mini
a-
game the game. That's
It's like a search and find for certain things, and
Yeah, and it's like
you're
a
done.
yeah. I'm playing cell phone games on my PS4, and I'm just like I don't want to do that.
the whole game sounds like a collection of mini games that you're just playing through.
Which is a very Japanese like design element.
That does seem like that.
Put all this stuff into a game.
But it's even more mini game than like the rest of the game. I don't like the return of gummy ships, and I'm very disappointed. And I like this is one of those times where I was like, if I could pay to play. So gummy ships are how you you travel between the worlds, and basically you have a little Lego ship that you can create, and you fight other so your enemies are like heartless.
It's a Star Fox sequence essentially.
It's a Star Fox sequence, except worse.
Yeah.
Except worse because you're a Lego, and that's dumb.
This game sounds bonkers.
It's pretty wacky.
It's crazy.
It always has been wacky. But in a fun kind of wacky way,
Yeah, it just sounds like a barrel of monkey fun.
It's basically like take
gummy,
all the
gummy fun.
aspects.
Barrel of gummy fun.
That's a quote on the box. Barrel of monkey gummy fun.
So Johnny Depp doesn't lend his voice to this at all, correct?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
He does not.
Here's what I find interesting. Because it's Jack Sparrow, who's a Disney product, right?
Mm-hmm.
His likeness is in the game. So Jack Sparrow's in there. I noticed that what was the character? What's the guy?
Orlando Bloom.
Orlando Bloom's likeness is in there.
Yeah, all of them are in there.
So
Keira
Knightley's likeness is in there. I'm seeing that.
That little shithead British guy, he's in there too. The short, annoying dude.
If all of their likenesses are in there,
they're all there.
And they weren't all
Bill Nighy as the
What I was saying is, if all of their likenesses are in there, but they're not supplying their voice, are they still getting likeness rights? Are they still making money off of this game?
That is a question I do not.
I know. I don't think anyone at the table right now can answer that, but
not for sure.
I'm curious. I'm curious as to if they're still.
I have an idea.
I have another fun fact for you, there, Felix.
Yeah.
Woody, in Kingdom Hearts,
I already know.
is played by Tom Hanks'
Jim
brother.
Hanks.
Yeah,
Jim Hanks. Yeah. His
He does all of the side
the non-movie ones.
all the side
what,
Woody projects.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
sounds dead on. Honestly, I mean,
Right,
in my
right.
opinion.
Yeah. His name's Jim Hanks. He's been doing it for years.
Yeah, I don't to answer your question, Felix, or to talk about your question. I don't think they would get paid for this because they aren't performing in this product. Like it's their face and their likeness, but I guarantee
Disney has the rights, right?
Yeah, Disney has the rights to their likeness as that character. That's got to be in their contract in the Disney property thing, you know?
Yeah.
Has to be. There's no way they'd leave that door open and be like, hey, if you ever put a new ride or a new sign up anywhere, it's got my face on it, like send me that check. They'd be like, fuck you, dude. Yeah. Get the fuck out of here.
Fuck you, dude.
Yeah, there's no way. All right, so I think one last question to wrap up, Flower, because you've actually shed a lot of light on this. All I've heard was just that it was amazing, bottom line. So thank you for giving more detail as to like what's amazing, what's not amazing, especially from someone who knows so much about the series as you do. So thank you. Last thing I'll say about this is imagine you are Felix Hergood, who has never touched one of these games ever in his entire life. Would they have a good time picking this up and playing it?
Would I?
Yes.
You think I
You
would?
would have,
Yeah,
you would have
there
a
you go.
better time playing this game than I currently have playing this game. But that's
I
because I've put like 20 years into it.
Like I'm looking at footage.
Fucking literally, dude.
I'm looking at footage right now,
Oh
and
my
it
God.
looks really cool.
It's a lot of fun. It's a fun game for people who don't have any stake in this series.
And the good news is you said it's easy.
It's so easy, like ridiculously easy. But also, like, it does a really good job of recapping everything for people who are newer. So, like, because for a good part of the series, Sora didn't actually have any memories. So they basically recap it for him because he, didn't.
Oh, that's a convenient story.
Yeah.
Trope right there. I like
Yeah.
that.
And then, like, after the mid-game boss, they, like, woke up some other guy who wasn't here for, like, any of the story. And then they, like, fill in a lot of stuff that they,
Oh,
So,
what
like-
up, audience? I mean, random dude. Here's everything you missed.
Most of the
Yeah.
pop culture shit that's in there, like I'll get. Like I've
Yeah.
seen pretty much all the Pirates movies. I've seen Tangled. I've seen Frozen. I've seen
Big Hero 6. Like, if you've
Yeah,
seen all
Big
those
Hero
movies,
6.
like...
What's the
Big
Final
Hero 6 I
Fantasy
just saw
representation?
So, I haven't seen any of them, actually.
I've heard that I don't think they really make a big, if any, appearance in this one. Just from what I've heard.
That was like the whole
Yeah.
point of the first one, right? It was like, look, Disney and Final Fantasy together.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of evolved into its own.
Well,
thing.
it was more
Its own
like
thing.
Disney and Square, and they created
Yeah.
Sora. But then
Yeah.
they're like, oh, wait, here's Leon and Yuffie and Aerith, who's magically not dead. Surprise.
Cloud
Like,
and Squall.
yeah.
Those characters had some of the beefiest voice acting in the first game too, in terms of like
They had
star power.
amazing, like, star power for voice acting in Kingdom Hearts has been phenomenal.
Yeah,
Hayden
Mandy
Panettiere,
Moore
before we even knew who she was,
Aries.
like,
I think I talk about this every single time. I just I still am blown away by it.
like Haley Joel Osment, like
Fucking
the voice
Lance
acting.
Bass was Sephiroth from NSYNC.
I remember having a
how-
fit about that.
Haley Joel Osment is doing a voice, and like when he did this first, he was a kid,
Yeah.
Yeah, he played the main character Sora.
and he still does.
He still does. He still
Does
voices
he
Sora.
sound young?
He still sounds pretty young, but to be fair, Sora also has grown up, so it's not like he's
Yeah.
still
That works. Yeah.
7.
Mhm.
Sora's like maybe 14 or 16 or something at this point. So
Dude, he is playing this character. Do you watch Future Man? Does anyone watch that?
No.
You talked about this a little bit last week. This
On,
feature.
on Hulu, he's playing this fucking straight bananas fucking character on this show called Future Man. So like, it'll be hilarious to like hear him in that game.
Yeah,
because he's so like out of his mind in Future.
He was on
Man.
Silicon
Yeah.
Valley too for a while.
Oh, was he?
yeah.
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 I must have been after I just stopped watching that. All right, cool. Flower, thank you so much for that. I'm gonna
Not a
definitely
problem.
play it one of these days. I have the collection, and I was going to play all of them up until launch,
Just like Metal
and
Gear.
then I don't know what happened. I blacked out. Well, one day I literally did. I was playing with a migraine, and then like I got like this like aura, and like half my vision disappeared. I'm like, I'm gonna end this stream, and I think that was the last day I played it. So
Look,
was
I'm
fucking
always
bad.
here for your Weeb updates. So whenever a Weeb
Thank
game
you.
comes out, I've probably played it, and I
Thank
probably
you.
have answers
We
for
did
you.
We'll have you
invite
here for
you.
sure.
We did not invite you here just because of your weeb knowledge.
But I do like the weeb knowledge. I appreciate the weebness.
We
I
all
mean,
do.
I just put up a new glass display case full of Miku figures, so like, Weeb is kind of my
That's the
life.
cred. That's the cred right there.
What I was going to say is technically our track record in 2019 is that we've only invited you here for weeb reasons because you've.
I
been here
mean, I think
once.
last year you only invited me to talk about Overwatch porn, so like it's fine.
Yeah, it's either
in Japan
Correct.
and
it's weeb and then Overwatch.
Persona we did. Oh wait, that's weeb. Damn.
Yeah.
What it
Yeah.
comes down to, Flower. What it comes down to is like you play different games than us, so
That's
it's
true.
great. that you
We've
can
been in
bring-
a very heavy like Destiny looter shooter
yeah.
battle royale kind of channel, so it's good to get out of that.
Yeah,
like
we're about to
there've
talk
been
about
some.
a new one.
I know we're gonna dive
Oh,
right in.
God.
There's been some good indie conversations that have like piqued our interest. I think because they're so different, but we definitely have been like
I feel
I
like
don't know,
I've been out of like
laning.
the JRPG or like and like the Japanese side of games for such a long time. Like I know Resident Evil is technically a Japanese game, but it's too Western. It's too
Yeah.
Western feeling.
It is.
It's not like Persona or Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy or at all.
Yeah, I
Or
think that's
even the
it's
Yakuza games, like those are
the
have a very
Western-
unique feel, you know.
It's the westernness of the games we've been playing. I think that's refreshing to hear about this.
It is.
Flower,
so.
did you play a game called Gree?
I'm sorry, say that name again.
Gree?
No.
GRIS.
GRIS. I was just
No.
wondering. Yeah, it was an indie we talked about on the show at the end of the year, and I ended up picking it up. It's pretty good. I'm playing it on the
Yeah,
Switch.
it's a beautiful like platformer,
But
it
in
uses
regard
heavy
to
like
color
watercolors
palette.
and stuff.
Yeah, and the game,
Ooh,
the whole
pretty.
the whole design of the game is based on color palette. So
It's gorgeous. You should watch the trailer for it after this because it's a gorgeous game.
I'm thinking about streaming the whole thing coming up soon. So
Yeah, you should.
Thank God for the Switch, man. The Switch is like let so many
introduce
little
me to a
tiny-
bunch of independent games.
It's a beautiful It's
Yeah.
a beautiful system.
There's a game that I actually just started the other day. I downloaded a free demo for this game, and it looks like almost like a Miyazaki movie that you're playing, and you just play like a movie. Like there's very little game in the game mechanics. Maybe you just have to like walk back and flip a switch or do something, but you're essentially playing this movie, and there's cutscenes, and it's like fully animated and voiced. And I'm gonna find the name of this before we end for sure. But like, speaking of cool games that are like movies, I was like that. But for now, let's talk about a new surprise we had this week in Apex Legends.
Yeah, I got to jump into this last night.
Haven't heard of it.
You haven't heard at all.
No.
So this week,
Well, for the
yeah.
most part, the world didn't know about this
no one
until
knew about it.
yesterday. So don't feel
Okay.
bad, Felix.
Yeah,
This is a fully realized battle royale game that just like appeared yesterday. They were just like, well, good to go. You can download it for free, play it on any platform right now. Go.
So yeah, Respawn and EA, this is the company that made the Titanfall games, and like Monday they were like, "Hey, we're like dropping this new game we've been working on tomorrow," and they pretty much just like launched it. No warning, no marketing for it. They just launched it, and it's a new battle royale game using like kind of the same systems as Titanfall. There is no wall running and there are no Titans. Those are the two things I can most definitely tell you. But what they do is they take kind of the Overwatch approach to it, which is really weird. So you pick a class at the beginning of each round, and you have multiple classes to choose from. They all have abilities and special abilities that recharge over time, just like in Overwatch. And the team dynamic is actually a very important part of it, because there are the supports, there are the assaults, there are the kind of the tank, like the more beefier, tankier characters. And even dropping out of like the plane as you're traveling along the map, you drop in a trio. You don't separate from each other. So like you have, when you pick your character in the beginning, each team will like pick a class, and you have like 10 seconds to do that. Then the second person gets to pick, and then like it fills those slots. and then afterwards you're playing a battle royale game with classes, and it's kind of crazy. There's like even a character that like looks like Bastion, that's just like Bastion, and it's kind of freaky. Go on.
This article, you said not to read titles, but this is a funny title.
Sure.
People
like
are saying
titles.
people are saying Apex Legends looks like Cliffy B's last 2 games.
Oh my god. Oh, and you know what? They're not far off, because it's a mix of like kind of like like the realistic shooter that like Titanfall was, and Lawbreakers, and Radical Heights, which was like a kind of like a last minute put together battle royale game. They like threw together last minute. It's a mix, and it's weird because like the Overwatch cast obviously is very like, animated, and like they all have their personalities shine through in their character design, like, and this game is clearly trying to like do something very similar. And the coolest part of this battle royale game where it stands out is, so not only does it feel like a really tight first person shooter like Call of Duty, but it feels like it also has better like quality of life features than any of the other battle royale games I've played. Like you can ping ammo and targets and enemies and locations, and your character will actually have like dialogue and go like, "Hey, I see a gun over here," or "This ammo is over here for you."
Oh, so you can communicate really effectively in a game.
Really effectively. And then the best part is if your teammate picks up said like item, there's a button that goes press H to thank your friend. And then he goes, and then your character will go, "Hey, thanks for that, man." Or like it'll just say like they're having a conversation.
Yeah, I'm into that, man. Let's have some more gratitude in our video games.
It's great. Another great thing about the way the battle royale part is like sectioned off or like laid out is there's always like these billboards like around the wherever the map is, and it'll do things like have these billboards up, and it will show you who in the round is doing the best, and a voice on the loudspeaker will go, "Oh, this person just got like he's at the top of the leaderboard now, guys. You better watch out for him." So it's constantly reminding you that like the turn of battle is like happening. It
calls them out.
So it's kind of like a cool thing that reminding you as you're like gathering items and ammo and everything that like, hey, the battle's happening. Yeah.
The art style looks like Borderlands.
Yeah, it's very similar to that. It's got it has I don't know if it's cell shaded, but like it is.
It didn't look cell shaded, but it is. It's
highly
like
animated
in terms of like the cartoon style. Like, it's not a realistic looking game.
Hey, Flower.
Yep.
Where does Borderlands stand on your color scale?
I love Borderlands. I think it's a beautiful game. Plus, it's cell shaded.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I was just wondering.
It's high up there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Everything is rated from like Borderlands to Bloodborne, somewhere on that scale.
Can we get you to like have this as a
Come
rating
up
scale
with
that
an
any
info-
new
we
game
need
comes out? We'll put
diagram.
this on our website or
And
something.
We need an infographic.
Yeah,
We'll give it the
gotcha.
flower visual scale.
The flower scale.
that'd be a good like palette. You could like hold it next to a game and go, I don't know, you guys. This is very Bloodborne.
I'm not even kidding. I feel like there are people that are very visually like centered in this world that would actually appreciate a rating system like that.
Oh,
so
for sure.
That could be onto something. The beginning of a revolution.
But anyway, so me and a friend of the show, Diamond Jab, we and Quail, obviously, the Smash Master himself, the Smash Commish. We all hopped into this game yesterday, and I had a great time. The characters do have pretty similar abilities to like their Overwatch looking counterparts. Like there is a soldier like character that will run faster when being shot at, which is kind of an interesting passive for him to have.
Oh, it is interesting.
And there is a Bastion looking bot who is like the turret tank guy. But this time he can do certain things, like he has a grapple hook. And his like super special is a zipline setup, so you can drop a zipline down and use it anywhere on the map.
He was a zipline guy. Who was the one that could track the enemies and see the footprints of like where they just were?
He was a character named Blood Hunter. I don't know the names. I'm
Sounds
sorry.
like an appropriate name for.
I didn't actually
thing.
get to play him. I played the Tracer copycat. Actually, I'm sorry. It was a Tracer mixed with Symmetra.
Do you think they really do? All these really have like Overwatch like
Bloodhound.
analogy?
Thank you.
I don't think everything has Overwatch. I just think Overwatch does such a good job of characterizing different tropes that we just refer to them in Overwatch.
Yes,
Like,
and it's
That's a good
honestly
point.
Overwatch is my baseline for like a hero shooter now because of how well established and how good it is at doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one character I played, which is like the Tracer Symmetra combo I described. She has an ability that lets her phase from reality, and
Lifeline.
Yes, that's her. She's got like a cloth looking outfit on. I don't know how to describe her.
Yeah.
But she can phase in and out of reality, so you can go invisible temporarily and kind of move quickly away from a firefight. And she can set 2 portals down, so she can do Symmetra's ability, which is dropping portals. And the Bastion character. I'm sorry, I don't know any of their names. That's just how I'm going to refer to them. But not only could he
That's
do
okay.
all the,
It's like day 2, literally. So
yeah, it is literally day 2.
Is his name Gibraltar?
No, he's the big tanky class that actually Diamond Jab played a lot of. But no, the robot guy, he also had the ability on the field.
Pathfinder.
Yeah, sure. On the field, there are these satellites.
just yelling out names of characters.
I'm trying to finish my sentence.
Let's let him finish.
I'm just kidding. He hates when I do that.
I do. I really do. A lot of these characters actually have world abilities that matter too. So like the robot character can actually find like a satellite uplink, and then he can kind of predict where the circle is going to drop next. So like once you scan these things,
that's cool.
So there are like items on the playing field that you can kind of interact with certain characters that they'll take advantage of. One more thing I guess I want to like point out about this game would be dying is not the end for your squad, which usually means it's the end for a character. But if you can get to your character's box, like his body, in a certain amount of time, you can take his just gonna call them dog tags. You can take his dog tags, deposit them in a machine, one of many machines located throughout the map, and almost get them airdropped back in. So there is a chance to like recover your full squad if you're good enough. Like if you can get to them in time.
Yeah, usually when someone's knocked out, they're just done.
They're done. But this changes the way battle royales usually work, because now death isn't the end for a team. You can get your whole team back before the end of a match, and that's kind of like
goddamn dodgeball.
It is. Yeah, you can call them back in essentially, and then you can fight your way down to the end. The team and I last night, we almost had a moment where we got in second place. We were like really working the field there, and we lost on our last guy, but on our last team, but they we had a really good run. It was
almost there.
Some hot moments. Honestly, I think the game's got legs. I think it's pretty cool. I do want to play it more. But Radical Heights didn't last long, and this was I don't know if this is the same situation. This is definitely way more polished. This feels like way better of a game.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, just watching it looked way better than Radical Heights. Radical Heights, I could tell, was going to die in like a week.
Oh, no.
Did you actually play that, Neo?
Radical Heights?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played it for like 2 or 3 days.
Oh, okay, cool.
But yeah, and I think we talked about it like when it was out, like me and Locke.
Yeah, we have an episode.
Locke and I played it. But yeah, it's that game didn't feel good, and this one definitely feels like a really good first-person shooter. And with the class system involved, I think if they just keep doing the Overwatch thing and releasing new, class variations, like I think this could be freaking cool. I think, and it's free to play, so like there's literally nothing to lose. Like it's just a cool, fun battle royale game. Will it beat Fortnite? I don't know about that. I think Fortnite's got its claws in the industry right now, but
I mean, I don't know, man. Like no one ever thought PUBG was going to get dethroned as the number one battle royale game. Like, I mean, they'd have to do a lot right, and the right storms would have to happen, but I could easily see the right thing coming out and knocking out Fortnite. I think people get tired of things, and that also helps something come in that's got a fresh or different perspective, move right in and shift things along,
Yeah.
One of the things that I think a game...
Fortnite...
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I was just listening to you guys talk about Fortnite, but I think Fortnite is about to pop its bubble. And I think mostly because like it's now full of children, like the same way Overwatch fell off because it became full of children. It became the cool thing for kids to do. Fortnite's going to eventually hit that bubble of like, oh, that's that kids game that like the seventh graders are all playing and dressing up for for Halloween and things like that. Like
Right.
eventually that's
I
going to
do
be.
think you're right. I think eventually it will go like the way of Minecraft, where it's still popular, like as popular as Minecraft was, but kind of like move its way into the background of like just gaming culture.
Right.
But it being free is like such a huge like way for them to like penetrate any market, like everywhere, because
Yeah,
it's on
there's
phones and it's on anything
zero
that has
investment.
a screen. So
Yeah.
it's like
No, Apex Legends isn't free, is it?
it is free.
Oh, so it's using
Yeah,
the Fortnite business model.
it is.
Mhm.
And it has.
Oh, it's gonna draw all those squeakers in, dude.
It's and there and I would love to see like in a month. I'm gonna say like a
Sorry
month
to
from
any
now.
squeakers that enjoy our podcast. We love you.
Yeah, we apologize. But I'm predicting like a month.
I
from
never
now,
heard that word until
Squeaker.
recently. That's so funny to me.
Yeah, dude.
Squeaker.
So I would say like a month from now. I'm kind of curious if this game like can. I know it's day 2, and I'm like just saying, oh my god, in a month it's gonna do it. But in a month from now, like if it can like pull some of I want to see if it's gonna pull some of that Fortnite numbers down. I want to know if it's gonna split any kind of like population number between who's playing these games. And I think the being free is a really huge factor in that. I think that's really like important to like why Fortnite is succeeding right now, you know? It's among other things, obviously. I'm just saying this is one factor that probably makes it very like easy for it to do the numbers it does. But
Well, Fortnite's also playing into its role as a creation machine. You know, I think anyone can now on Fortnite apply to for a creator code.
oh
People
yeah,
can support you like as a viewer and someone as a broadcaster.
Mhm.
Like, do we think games have to have that to be? I don't know.
there are.
um,
It's funny that you say that because there are streamer settings in the settings of Apex Legends.
Oh, I was gonna ask what does it support this at all? Does it support content creation in any way?
It's not in the sense that there's like a creator program, but it does have things like streamer modes where you can turn off the people who killed you's names, or the people on your team. You can have their names be turned off in the menus.
I mean, that to me is 100% creation support because you're killing, negatives against you while still keeping your broadcast effective.
I think one of the modes is called like stream snipe, anti-stream snipe mode. So like people can't like follow your name and like kind of hunt you down.
Yeah.
Can I turn that on in Battlefield 5?
No, I don't think
no.
I don't think that's in that.
Fucking
I mean, you got to check.
assholes.
You got to check yourself. But do people come into your Battlefield 5 games and
Felix,
like
I don't think
go,
you're getting.
oh my god,
stream sniped.
Felix heard
I
this there, gotta
literally
shoot him."
in a Battlefield 1 stream, I got stream sniped by a guy who was in my chat. I mean, it was all fun.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
He was there, and every time he shot me, you would type in the chat,
Gotcha.
like something positive. He'd be like, "You're doing fine. I just killed you." Like
Wow.
Yo, that dude's cheating though. Just gonna say that is screen looking. By the rules of Mario Kart 64, you are screen looking. All
But he
right.
followed me, so I
GoldenEye.
don't care.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Yeah,
Well, I'll have to give it a
first time
shot.
with that, yeah.
Like I haven't, like I was saying, I only played Fortnite with my roommate. I've never done PUBG because when you guys were really big into PUBG, I was still very new to the PC landscape, and like I just did not feel confident in my shot on a mouse and a keyboard
I
by
should've
any
still done
means.
it.
By any means to even dive into that world. But now I think this one might be doable.
Trip, I'll play it with you. I'll do it.
try it
Diamond,
out.
Quail, we're all here.
Nice.
I won't be there.
So
for
we're at an hour. We're pretty much on the dot.
Cool. We got anything? I mean, I talk about more Resident Evil, but we already did that.
We did that. I mean, the only other thing that happened between our last show and this show is another weekend of Anthem.
Oh
The
yeah.
second weekend of the Anthem
I did play
beta.
that.
I didn't
not
follow
called
up.
a beta.
I didn't play it.
No, that's all right.
The only thing that was different was that on Sunday there was one of their Shaper Storms that they've been teasing and showing a little bit about as like a world event. They caused this thing to happen that everyone could kind of participate in if you were playing the game on Sunday before it went away.
So
And this
that-
was some kind of like public event that summoned a big massive boss, and everyone had to kind of work together to take it down.
So that's kind of cool that they have that. That means they're ready to do things like what Destiny does. And I know we're doing the Destiny comparison again, but
Right.
Destiny is very good at on the fly going, hey, this week there's something cool coming, and then they'll have like a crazy change to the world, which you know, lets the world evolve naturally, almost.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's been an interesting couple weekends with this Anthem demo, not really a demo coming out. It's raised a lot of debates and questions and issues around, I don't know, around game development, around types of games, around game comparisons, around how we consume this stuff. At least in our Discord, it's been very lively chatting about this stuff all the time, back and forth.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I spent some time with it last weekend, and honestly, my impression was, like, as we talked about in Discord, I'm like, this is weird to me that they're showing us this version of the game, because Trip, I played with you on Saturday, and we were literally shooting enemies, and then they would just disappear from the world.
They just disappear, just not be there anymore.
And then we would we would walk away from them, and then they would pop back in, and then we would go, okay, well, now let's go fight it. We would get in close, and then it would disappear. Like, this happened like 2 or 3 times with this one turret.
Yeah. It's yeah. I mean, I don't really knock it that much, because I mean, I think any game could ship with graphic glitches, but yeah, I mean, it is funny that you wouldn't want to polish up your vertical slice as much as possible,
right,
before offering it.
So yeah, there was like a lot of weird questions I have, like also, you guys talked about this last week, but the UI is like crazy, and so far this time I did not even play it on mouse and keyboard. I just went for a controller and played it that way, and the game played. It was fine. It was completely fine on controller, and I'll say the flying is
feels
really
amazing.
Cool.
Feels amazing on a controller.
Yeah, everything about the controller combat and flight is great. It's great. They nailed that. But the shooting, yeah, Felix is up.
Flower.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have an interest in playing Anthem? I was just curious to get.
I played last week's demo, not demo. And
demo, not demo.
Demo, not demo. That's what we're calling it.
Demo.
And it's okay. I'm reserving judgment for it still. It took me a really long time to actually get into the demo, not demo.
Yeah, there were definitely server issues that first weekend.
Yeah, I'm withholding judgment just yet. It feels exactly like how I thought it would feel. Like as far as like mobility wise and things like that. So.
Which class did you play as, or which one did you prefer?
The one with the flying and the pew pew gun.
Oh,
I don't remember what
any
of them are called.
Mm.
Yeah, it's the one. Like, the one you got the pew pew gun.
The one, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you saying? Are you saying PP gun?
She's not saying. She's saying pew pew, not PP.
Yeah. Pew pew.
What's
like pew pew?
Oh, pew pew pew.
Like the.
Got it. Never mind.
The sound of.
The sound. The onomatopoeia.
Yes, that. Thank you. The word of the sound. Yeah, I think we have a lot to see, because calling it a demo put the wrong perceptions out into the world.
Yeah, and the problem is now everything that I did see, I'm like, okay, well, gun variety seems a little weird, but it's early game, like I can't judge it off of that.
So they're calling it a demo. Does that mean it's an alpha?
No, I think what Flower is saying is like it's a demo, but it's really kind of a beta. It's really kind
it was
of
100%
a
beta. Yeah.
But it's like they're calling it a demo, but like
they're picking a term for it.
Yeah, right. I think mentally, if someone says you're going to play a demo of what that means to me, the player, is that I'm playing a walled off separate section of this game, but I'm going to be playing the game. Meaning like what I feel,
fully realized,
what I feel, what I see, what I interact with, that's going to be the game, and that's what I'll get when I walk into the store or when I download it. This is not. They've literally said it's not the case. There's differences in UI.
This build is from like
sound
months
issues
ago or whatever.
Yeah, it's.
Boy, that's some balls.
I feel like it's more of like a stress test tech demo than a like real demo.
Right.
Yeah, I just think it was definitely a marketing. It was a marketing term calling it a demo, and not
that
a beta.
Fucks them up though, doesn't it? Because if
I think it hurts them. Yeah.
I mean, this week people have been talking about it, and sorry, go on.
I was like, people are going to assume again that they're playing part of the game, and they're not. So
right. And it creates this shitstorm of opinions and ideas. And I'm not saying people's opinions are bad, but like there's so many things written and discussed and videos made about this because it's such a like a content nugget, and people are just like feeding clicks and shit off of this, and I'm like, but we don't even know anything, dude. Like, we can't know.
Yeah,
but of course, like,
people are already crying for like, oh, this is an unfinished game, like that whole thing. Yeah, but we don't know yet. We don't know what the final build looks like, which is
we have no idea. We just have a snowball of perception rolling downhill.
They're not wrong. It is an unfinished game. That's literally what you're playing. You're playing an unfinished game.
Okay,
so, like,
yeah.
As of this point, yeah.
For that specific thing, yes, totally unfinished. Yeah.
Like, is this the end of BioWare? Is all over YouTube, dude?
Yes.
We don't know. We effectively have played nothing. Like, nothing really gave us an idea. We got to play
in the playground, whatever they showed us. Yeah.
Yeah. We got to touch a demo video, essentially. Like, we still don't know what this game is going to actually look or feel like. Literally, they're going to change, like, the flight mechanics. They're going to change the aim mechanics on PC. Things are going to literally feel different. Guns are going to be weighted differently. Like, it's not going to even feel the same game.
You guys, the final product, all the characters are just going to be randomly developed shapes. It's like, are you playing as a triangle?
We abandon all cosmetics and your shapes now. So there you go.
Your untextured pink models, just smooth geometric shapes flying around this world.
Yeah.
I mean, look, from a positive standpoint, I've had a ton of fun with both weekends, and it's a really, really cool game to play with your friends, and I'm excited to see what they bring to the table story-wise with a cooperative world, because that's what BioWare does really well. And the small sections of cutscenes they showed us got me definitely interested in seeing what the full story is or how this all ties in. Well, I did the Interceptor the second weekend, and I came in here thinking I was going to play the Storm, and I wasn't wrong. I love playing as the Storm, the big floaty magic casty one, but I thought I would hate Interceptor, and that would be like the bottom of my options of the 4 Javelin suits to wear. Dude, Interceptor is right up there at number 1. I'm going to be Interceptor ASAP. You're so fast and light and darty and zappy, and you can dodge 3 times and
you have the pew
fly
pew
around the
gun.
place and
Pew 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 pew.
Oh, that's what you mean. You start with a little mini. Oh, I threw that fucking shit out. I hate those machine pistols.
Pew pew.
They're terrible. I went in there with a shotgun, dude. Interceptor with a shotgun. Hop in, shotgun, dodge out before you get shot. That was the move. I felt crispy.
A shotgun's.
Yeah. Just like that.
Yeah, but I don't like that sound, so like I'm just say pew pew, pew pew, pew pew pew.
No, I was saying that's the sound for a shotgun.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah, like she says. Yeah, she doesn't like it, so we're gonna go back to the pew. Pew.
Yeah, I actually like the Storm a lot
like
too.
A pop.
The Storm was like
was fun.
Really fun class. I liked its phasing. It's like a kind of like crazy movements like that.
It does like a blink. As we would call it.
I would say the least favorite of the different classes was the big Colossus one, because I know like purposely mobility for that guy is turned down because you're like taking the fire, you got the armor, but I don't know, man. I just didn't. I was feeling like pretty much every class but that one because I liked the mobility and how good those mobile classes felt. Man, it was real. It felt real good.
The higher your movement options went, the better it felt.
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
And Storm's ability to be in the air was awesome. He could stay in the air for a very long time.
If you're floating with a Storm, you can essentially float. I don't know, infinity. Like all you have to do is land and let your shit recharge for like a split second, but you can recharge. I don't know, man. It's a ridiculously amount more than the other javelins by a far, far, far margin. That's what your job is as a Storm. You got to stay out of the way and cast your shit.
If they can pull off like an RPG like system, like where people are playing it like a tank class, DPS range and melee classes, that would be pretty cool. I would love to see like cool like party builds.
It has the potential. Like the Colossus has, I got a provoke ability shield. Essentially. Like there's call attention, and then they can add some shield mechanics, like things that can help buff your shield or recharge it. Like there's tons of things they could do, and then that'll be a cool like action MMO style.
I would love
to play.
I would love if they pulled it off.
We'll see. We're about, what are we, a month, 3 weeks away from launch?
Ooh.
We are, a week and a half from VIP release, and then the 22nd is real release. So
hopefully I'll get some, if I can get into the Division beta, I'll try and hop in on that.
Is that still the same day that the Days Gone comes out?
Oh God, I don't care about Days Gone at all. I have no idea what's going on with this game.
Damn, where's the marketing, guys? Come on.
That game Dude, come on. What is going on with this? It's not even a real fucking thing.
What, Days
Days
Gone?
Gone. Yeah.
Totally is a real thing.
No,
It's
we
coming
Real
out.
thing, dude. It's not a real thing.
It's next
I
year. It's
100
actually next year.
I 100% pre-ordered it. What are
Look,
you
this
talking-
game looks like the most boring, like cookie cutter. Let's survive with
Sam
zombie,
Witwer though.
Dude,
looks good to me. I don't
Just-
know.
absorb any other content that he's involved in, and you'll be
Dude,
I'm gonna go watch Smallville.
good.
I
don't know,
I
I'm just-
told you. Look, what
It
happened?
doesn't look like it's gonna.
We said the same shit about God of War.
I did, and I've said that I could be wrong about this, but as of right now, it's doing nothing to really change.
I think the problem with Days Gone is Sony
April
already
20, it's April 26th.
Sony has like Last of Us, and that's like their like spotlight zombie, but not zombie kind of.
But I don't
Gig.
understand how this is I don't understand how
the genres are. It's not, but the genres are overlapping too much, and Sony and I feel like because Last of Us is so good that no one is.
Last of Us 1, but we don't know if 2's good.
No,
It's not out yet.
No, you're
yeah,
right.
Okay, yeah.
But we already
this-
they've
You're saying it's too soon? Like they shouldn't be releasing?
No, well,
No.
here's the
No,
thing.
that's not what
They're
we're
they're marketing Last of Us 2 in kind of a similar timeline as this game. And the problem is Last of Us 2 will take up more air in the room because Last of Us 1 was so good and people already are ready to see what happens in Last of Us 2. But Days Gone has been looking unappealing because we got the zombie game we care
To me,
about.
Days Gone looks like guy on a motorcycle, Last of Us story. You know, like something that exists in the same
it's
world.
On the
but
color
they
palette,
ran.
it's about
they-
right here next to like the
Yeah.
Gears of Wars and the
It's
Fallout.
at the
Next
bottom.
to, it's next to Bloodborne.
It's in the shit list on Sleeping Flowers palette scale. But like, it feels like they pass by this guy on the street and they're like, let's tell his story while Joel and Ellie are off doing the real thing. Like, it looks like it just belongs in the same universe.
All right.
They're just
well,
not clickers. They're just like
I-
zombies.
I pre-ordered it, so I'll let you know.
Dude, I'll be watching your stream. I want to know all about it.
Yeah, I'm
26
curious too.
April 26th is when it comes out, actually.
Got
So
it.
when's your game? The Anthem?
I'll be playing on the 15th of this month of February.
Oh, it comes out that early.
Mhm.
Got it. Cool.
Yep.
All right.
That's the date for people who either pre-ordered or who are EA Origin Premier members.
Got it.
And then the week after that, the Friday after that, is when everyone else gets it.
Well, cool.
So, yeah, dudes, I think it's about time.
Yeah, can I say one thing?
No.
You can say two things.
Yeah.
Don't
give
give
you-
him that much power.
Well, no.
Just
anyone
one
who's listened this far into any of our episodes, specifically this far into this episode, is somebody who likes to listen to our episodes. Clearly, if you're still here, you definitely like to listen to our
It's
episodes.
not a wrong statement.
So what I was going to say for you specifically, listener, who enjoys our episodes and likes listening all the way through, a lot of our older episodes are going to start showing up in the feed because we moved our service from Squarespace to a new company called Fireside.fm, which is not to be confused with Welcome to Fireside with Menti and Mr. Maurer and all those guys over there. They're not related. They're just a Fireside.fm is a podcast-centric hosting service. So we want it to be, we want better analytics, and we want to have all of our episodes, which Squarespace was only they were only
It's a thing.
letting us make visible 100 of our episodes at a time. So moving to the new service, we'll be able to make visible all of our episodes. So you can go back and listen to some of the older content. I was half drunk on many of those episodes, so
Dude,
so
there
it's
was
gonna
a
be
heavy
quite,
amount
it's
of
going to
bourbon
be quite
in
a
some of the
journey,
earlier
and
episodes,
I
for
will
sure.
let you know that the quality is going to get worse the further you go back.
Oh my god.
But check it out.
Or better.
Yeah.
Coming
Or
soon.
better.
Coming soon. Come or
Yeah.
better.
Hashtag
soon.
bring back the bourbon, dude. Let's go.
No, I'm saying the bourbon
I'm here for the bourbon.
episodes have
Yeah.
higher quality content.
Always.
I'm just saying the quality of the show because I was drunk when I was producing.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can say without the shadow of a doubt there was definitely at least one episode where I was blacked out for. I can promise you that.
Oh my god.
Definitely drunk plenty of times. Definitely blacked out at least once. So
I've missed it.
Yeah.
it was a vibe. We had
And all
people
of the
feedback, like,
episodes-
What happened, dude? What
In
happened?
addition, this site also gives us the ability to mark episodes with specific names of guests, and it gives an episode count of how many they're on, and you can click on their name and go right to.
They just have an insane amount of features that are going to be so much better for us now and in the future for things we want to do.
If you want to go back and listen to all of Sleeping Flowers episodes that she's been on, which you've been on more than I think a dozen now, right, Flower?
Yeah, quite a few. They're all about Overwatch porn, so I'll know which ones it is.
Yep. And you can easily find those tags on his website and all the collections.
So we'll make sure we tag it Overwatch porn on every episode where we're talking about. But yeah, it's going to be great. So I'm excited.
Cool. Good shit, Felix. Thanks for summarizing that, essentially. It is going to be pretty exciting going forward to see what we can do and collect and organize. So,
yep.
Yeah. Guys, thanks for being here. I'm Trip Zero. I'm going to pass it off to the other guys pretty soon, but just before I go, you can find me on Mixer, mixer.com/Trip0TV. I broadcast every day. Schedule right now is in flux because I'm redoing my stream a little bit, but primarily look for me 12 to 8 p.m. every weekday. And then find me on Twitter, best place besides Mixer. Same thing, Trip0TV. Tell them where to find you, Felix.
Yeah, this is Felix Hergood. I'm on Twitch, twitch.tv/Felix Hergood, mixer.com/Felix Hergood. I do a Mitch chat where me and people are Twitch and Mixer are together. And we call it a little Mitch chat. And I primarily stream during the morning, and specifically Wednesday and Thursday mornings. You're guaranteed to catch me every week. But other days of the week, I also stream in the morning. So it's a morning stream. So
nice. And I'm Neo Ayoshi. You can find me at Neo_Ayoshi on Twitter, and on Twitch it's just Neo Ayoshi. Twitch.tv/Neo Ayoshi. And last but not least, Flower.
Yeah, last but certainly not least, let's go. Flower.
So
thanks for
Thank you for being here, first of all.
Oh, thank you guys. I'm Sleeping Flower. You can find me on things. I do literally nothing, so probably don't find me on those things. But if you wanted to, you can find me on Twitter at Sleeping Flower X. Same thing for PlayStation. Same thing for Twitch. So twitch.tv/Sleeping Flower X.
Solid sell there. I do literally nothing. Don't find me.
Don't find me.
No.
If you wanted to,
No.
The Snacks the Cat way.
That's a Snacks the Cat line.
It's not as cold and shrill as Snacks the Cat, who's like, don't find me.
Yeah. Snacks the Cat, don't find me. But yeah, Snacks back on here, man.
I wrote his profile on the new website, and I put one thing: don't find me.
Don't find me.
That's perfect.
That's dope. All right, everyone, have a great week. We will see you next week. Peace out.
Bye.
Do kind of miss the table, you know?
Miss the table,
miss
dude.
It a little bit.
It's right here. It's got my meat on it.
That's a clip. That's a clip
right
right there.
On the table.
Someone in chat, please clip that.
Like dead center of the fucking podcast when I said that.